Okay, before I continue my speech, today I would like to share about my experience about my project about ethnography and social media data analysis. Because I think during this pandemic, the COVID-19, we have to do a lot more of still doing research as academician, as a researchers, and we have to know about some new method, some new methodology to find that data collection, of course, and then to do analyze, especially for unstructured data from social media data like Facebook, like Twitter, like YouTube. Okay, Ibu Lohana. Could you help me to share my slide? Okay, for this presentation, I will separate into five. The five main objective. Firstly, I will share about the introduction to qualitative research, and second about the big data area, and then an ethnography and how to conduct the social media data collections, and final part, I would like to inform you about the qualitative software for analysis. Can you show the slide and then move to page 3? Thank you. Okay, before I continue my presentation, I would like to disclaimer because there are so many different views on how to conduct qualitative research. And then we have to know about our position as researcher, as academician, especially as a professor and as lecturer in university, about the different methodological positions. And we have to know about what contribution is. I think it is very important, very essential for researchers to put the contribution in their research, especially in their publication, for international, for reputable publications. Okay, and then we have to know the taste, the taste for regarding how to best write up your paper, because we have own style, we have own characteristic style to write our project in the report, especially in the qualitative report. In my experience, in my doing some collaboration project with my student, with the other researcher from several university in the world, when we're doing qualitative research, the confidence is number one. The confidence is very important, because when we confidence, we flexible, we free to explore about our experience, about our knowledge, and about point of view about the issues, about the research problems. Next. Okay, this is the QRCA. This is the one of the important qualitative research consultant association. I member. I joined this association since 2019, and it gives me impact to develop my knowledge, to improve my sense about the qualitative study. Next. This is the definition of research methods. I think all the participants know about this by Breman and Bell 2003. A research method is simply a technique for collecting data involve a specific instruments for completion of questionnaire or structured interview schedule with the participation, observations, and the researcher listen and watch others. I think this the keyword when we do research in qualitative area, especially in the interview process with the informants and the observation with the observation with activities, observation with some activity or case study. Okay, next. Okay, this is some identification about the difference between qualitative research and the quantitative research. For the qualitative research, it tends to focus on how people groups and how people interact, that communicate their look the behavior, usually social and psychological reality. But in the quantitative research, we focus to describe, to understanding the reality about the discovery of general laws. Okay, and the qualitative research, the behavior in the natural setting or use people's account on people accounts, the people as a data, usually there's no manipulation or variables. So in the quantitative research, they involve manipulation of some variables like independent variable, while other variable be considering to be externals and confounding variable and hold consistent. And the last, in qualitative research, the researchers are flexible, the emergence, but the systematic research process needed. In quantitative research, they require the research process to be defined in advance. Next slide. Okay, this is the other concept of quantitative data and the qualitative data, because in research, data collection is so important, so important. So we have to know about the different between both of data. In the quantitative data, based on numbers, large sample size, we use statistical analysis, we use close-ended questions, and the purpose is to validate hypothesis. But in the qualitative data, because in this presentation, I will more explore in the qualitative data. So in the qualitative research based on opinions, based on the experience or researchers' knowledge, a smaller sample size, the sample we in qualitative we say the informant, and the data collection procedure, we use interviews and observations, so very subjective, because when you made the result and discussion, especially in the conclusion, it's very subjective, or maybe in the common word, there's no generalization, but no generalization is exception, depends on terms and the condition applied. For example, if you doing research about information system development in one or many the organizations, the prototype of developing system can be adopted, depend on the situation, depends on the environment of the organizations. And specific for the interviews, the qualitative data use open-ended questions, and the final output of in qualitative research to generate hypothesis, or we call it propositions, or develop idea. We construct some conceptual framework based on research problem or research issues. Next. Okay, this is the current situation. The current situation, because we are in the technology 4.0, the society 5.0, and we already studying about the big data. We define the data in structured data and unstructured data. For structured data, this case especially for statistical analysis and business intelligence, this is a very quantitative, yeah, very quantitative. And the other side, if you can see the images, that the qualitative analysis for unstructured, yeah, for unstructured data, for text analysis. So what typical analysis can we do in qualitative research? Yeah, in qualitative analysis, we can do content analysis. Especially for unstructured data, we can do sentiment analysis, text mining, and video analytics. But especially for content analysis, you can do both of research in quantitative or qualitative. It depends on your research question. So for doing research, you have to fix, yeah, you have to fix the research question, yeah, based on phenomena, based on introduction, your background. So after you already identified the problem with the research question, you can next move to the data collection. Is it quantitative or qualitative? For content analysis in quantitative, we can say it's not just a number. Yeah, it's just a number. Yeah, like the word, like the percentage, like the chart, like the diagram. Yeah, and for the qualitative, even they show the percentage. So the researcher must to describe, must to inform to the reader, yeah, to the reader, what the meaning of the word, yeah, what the meaning of the word. So in the qualitative today, yeah, the additional analysis, we can use a sentiment analysis. Is it moderate? Is it negative or positive impressions? Yeah, especially in management, we have impression management theory. So, for example, we want to know about the impression in one or many CEO in the organization. Is it positive, moderate, or negative from their CEO speech, like CEO speech, CEO management letter, and or CEO annual report in the textual analysis. Next. Okay, this is the conclusion for the research process. Yeah, for quantitative, we start from the research questions and then move to the theory. What is the grand theory? What is the initial theory? And we develop some hypotheses. And after we complete define the hypothesis, we move to the data collection and finding. But in qualitative, as I mentioned earlier, that qualitative is so flexible, but research question is very important. It's a basic need for researchers. And for the research question, after research questions, yeah, identified, we next procedure, we do data collection by interview, by observation, by focus group discussion, and then we construct the theory or the conceptual framework, and we find, yeah, we find what the finding, what the solving of our research questions. Next. Okay, this is the approach. Yeah, this is the approach to qualitative research, or I said the sense of the qualitative research. Yeah, the qualitative research is different approach. Yeah, different worldview. This is the adopting particular approach can influence how or where you disseminate your finding. For example, in publications. And research question, as I said before, that very, very important. Yeah, very, very important as a guideline, your research process. And for the research question, in qualitative research is unlike a quantitative research. In quantitative, the research question is, for example, want to prove, to look at the influences of some variables. But the research question in the qualitative is selected, yeah, it is selected based on your view as a researcher and fitting with the resources and expertise of the researchers. And the qualitative study for the progress, yeah, the research question in qualitative should be refined and maybe reformulated. Yeah, reformulation of the quantitative research question requires for the new study. Next. Okay, this is some of the qualitative approach. Yeah, qualitative approach. Ethnography for the grounded theory. We don't need theory. Yeah, we don't need theory to solve our research question. Yeah, we free enter to the situation, to the activities. Yeah, in the grounded theory. And we have comparative approach, yeah, interpretive phenomenological analysis. We have discourse analysis, conversation analysis, content analysis, and narrative analysis. Next. Okay. So in qualitative approach, yeah, many qualitative approach looking for the themes. They're looking for the themes. So after we finding the data collection, so the next step we have to classify of finding data into some of coding, yeah, some of coding, and then we decided the themes for the data. Okay. And researchers use the content analysis for short of the analysis of the content. For example, the interview, documentation from the observation. We have to transcribe to text, yeah, to textual analysis. Next. Okay, for the qualitative data collection method, yeah, we have interviews, yeah, interview as an informant or key informants. We have focus group discussions, and we have the observation, collection of documented like letter, diaries, or photographs, yeah, the collection of the narrative and open-ended question. For the number of limitation of each data collection method. Some literature said for the interview in the qualitative is the minimum 20, yeah, 20%. In the focus group discussion, in one group consists of 6 to 10 member, but I think it's flexible. Yeah, it is flexible. It depends on your case. Yeah, especially in focus group discussion. But for interview in qualitative, you have to minimum required 6, yeah, 20% or 20 informants. Next. Yeah, this is about the sampling and selection. Yeah. Next. For qualitative, we use purposive sampling. Yeah, after you interview, for example, you interview in one of the key informant, and you deliver your question, and the informant answers, and the informant also give your suggestion, give your advice to do interview in the next informants. Yeah, that's the purposive. Next. This is the definition about the sampling and the sampling criteria. Next. Like a snowball sampling. And okay, this is what I mentioned before for the informant. Yeah, for the informant to get the saturation data, you have to reach 20 to 60 interview. Yeah, can you imagine that? That's so hard for qualitative researcher to reach 20 and 60 interview. For focus group discussions, in one group member is 6 to 10 people. Next. Okay, this is for the qualitative analysis. Yeah, in quantitative, we summarizing the frequencies of the variables. We define the variable. We use statistical tests. But in qualitative research, in analysis, we use to describe the phenomena, and we have to understand and we meaning, yeah, we about about the phenomena. We interpret the phenomena, and we also describe about the data. In the higher level of the analysis, it's an interpretive, interpretative, that's so very subjective. And the last analysis is content analysis. I think it's very famous, very popular in researchers. So we classify theme in word and concept. Next. Okay, we have to transcribing qualitative data with NVIVO. Next. This is the example of the manual procedure analysis. You put the post-it, and you identify with the general procedures. Next. And next, I think we have some limitation time for the ethnography. Ethnography is the opposite of the ethnography, or we can say the digital ethnography. The ethnography is in the inventor is Robert Cosinet, by Robert Cosinet in 2010, 2015, and the new book is 2021. Next. This is the classification of ethnography, ethnography from the humanist, from digital, from the auto, from the auto is very critical analysis, and the orientation is local. But for the global is a digital orientation and a symbolic analytical. Next. This is the sum of book, the sum of book by Robert Cosinet, the inventor of ethnography. The right side is the new book of the ethnography for unlimited research in qualitative social media. Next. Okay, this is some example of some literature review how to use the qualitative research, especially in ethnography. Related and relationship with the internet communication and technology. Next. Okay, this is the ethnography analysis. Some of the literature review by systematic review to define the ethnography method, to define the what is source of data collection from blog, from YouTube, from Twitter and other social media. Next. Okay, this is for the understanding for the customer, because the ethnography firstly is very famous in the marketing, in business, in commerce. So today many disciplines can use the ethnography. Next. Okay, this is the community area, because the focus in ethnography is to looking at the interaction of communication of each member in the online community. Next. Okay, so this is some issues. This is a public or private space, for the ethnography. But the Cosinet in 2006 said that we must to be careful and consider of ethnography is potential to harm. Next. I think this is the conclusion for the ethnography. Next. Okay, for the social media data, let me share for little restricted time. This is the shifting the methodology. What is the difference between the ethnography and ethnography? Next. Okay, this is the procedure to analysis. When you conduct the qualitative analysis using qualitative software, you can choose between the NVIVO or the Leximancer. I think the most popular is NVIVO. Next. Okay, this is the data of the stage of the data when you conduct the social network analysis. Okay, next, still start from the research questions. Okay, what can we do with online social network? We can use web mining, list analysis, network analysis, content analysis, user behavior analysis. Especially in social network analysis, you can find who is the person is influencer in this area, in this topic. Yeah, that's the important findings in ethnography and social network analysis. Next. Okay, this is the just some of the qualitative software. Next.
Make it short.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I think I have ended time, right?
Okay, 1 minute more.
Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. So next. Okay, this is about the NVIVO information system for the qualitative software. Yeah, next. And this is the data for the qualitative software can be support. Yeah, there's so many data. There's so many big data from the social media, from the SPSS, yeah, from the quantitative, from the survey, from the manager reference, yeah, literature reference. Yeah, you can do with NVIVO qualitative software. Next. This is some of this is the books. Yeah, I think this is good books. Yeah, if you want to learn about the big data in qualitative research by Katie and Mills. Yeah. Next. Okay, this is the qualitative research ethic in the big data era. Yeah, because when you try to enter the online community, you can do in lurking. Yeah, in the lurking, as it means that the person in the community doesn't know. Yeah, doesn't know you are a researcher, or you can register to the admin in the some of the social media, some of the social community, and then you said that I'm a researcher and I want to conduct a research about what issues, and then please give me the information, give me the advice about the informant about our issue. That's the qualitative research ethics in the big data era. Next. This is the rigor, yeah, rigor, especially for the number one, the trustworthiness. Yeah, trustworthiness is very important, like credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability. Next. Okay, this is the rigor and the qualitative research. Yeah, the popular is triangulation. Yeah, the triangulation. We use multiple and different methods, the investigator sources to obtain. Yeah, to obtain or corroborating the evidence. Next. Okay, I think this is my last, yeah, my last for the evaluating qualitative research. I think the contribution is very important. Yeah, the contribution in the qualitative research we propose. Yeah, we propose proposition. We propose conceptual framework. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the last time. Thank you.
We have limited time, Pak. Sorry, Pak.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.